The Pioneer Arms AK-47. Let's check it out. Pioneer Arms is based out of Radom, Poland, which is an area well known for making quality firearms. In fact, these rifles are built on the same specs as your standard Polish guns, but they're all brand new parts. These aren't pieced together with kits. This isn't the 7.62 by 3.9. It has the laminated wood stock, which is absolutely beautiful. We did a review on their 5.56 model, which was an underfolder with the steel trunnion. Excellent gun. With this particular model, it is the sporter, and the trunnions and the specs are the same as that are delivered to the Polish military, which are made for full automatic rifles. This is an AKM. It has the stamped receiver, so it's handy, it's light, and there's just a lot of quality to these. Now, early on, Pioneer had a few issues, and over the past few years, they've really stepped up their game. And one of the big things about Pioneer that's a big draw is the price. AK-47s have really risen in price over the past few years, but Pioneer Arms seems to keep it in that right price ballpark. I got this from Classic Firearms, and Ben asked me to do a review on it. The first underfolder, when I did that review, I was very impressed, and so I was really excited to get the full-size version to test out. And guys, honestly, I was not disappointed. The world of the AK-47 is huge. There's a lot of different variants, a lot of different countries make them, some better than others, and there are also different features on your AK that really drive up the price but really add to the quality. And that is one thing you'll notice about AKs. The prices really are all over the place. This is the Pioneer Arms Sporter, 7.62 by 3.9. It is an AKM, which means it has a stamped receiver. But one of the things about AKs, and there are guys that get into all the details. I love AKs. I have a bunch of them. I love shooting them. I know a lot of the basics. But there are some guys that really excel in knowing all about the AK. With that being said, this is from Radom, Poland. It is not to be confused with FB Radom, which is the legendary AK-47 manufacturer in Poland. But these are good and solid AKs. They did have some issues early on. You know, Pioneer, some of that had to do with the importer that was bringing them in. Now that Radom USA down in Florida is taking care of it, and they do all the compliance. These rifles come in with some limitations, and then Pioneer USA comes in and makes these 92R compliant. They add the wood, and they really do a great job on these. One thing that I love, though, about this rifle in particular is the exterior is absolutely beautiful. I love the laminated Polish wood stocks. It does have a polymer pistol grip, and of course you can replace that if you want to get that real, you know, kind of combat look to it or vintage look. But it has a melanite finish, which really holds up extremely well. And it gives it just kind of a beautiful, almost a blued color, like a matte blue finish. But before we get into a lot of the details, let's go ahead and pull our magazine out. This is a waffle pattern polymer magazine. Check the chamber, and the gun's empty. Now, these magazines are traditionally 30 rounds. We have put limiters in these according to YouTube policy, and this makes this a 25-round magazine. Insert is really nice, and honestly, you get 2 magazines, and some boxes have been coming with 3. We're going to start here at the back, mainly because, guys, I love these stocks. I think they're just beautiful. There's a lot of grain in them. Again, they are laminated, so they're going to hold up well. We do have a sling swivel here at the back, and then we have our metal butt pad. There is no small little compartment in the back for your cleaning kit, which some guys really like. I like it, but it's not a deal breaker. Again, polymer pistol grip, a lot of texturing, and then we have our safety, which has the Serbian Zastava notch in it. And that way, when you pull back your bolt, you can lock up and you can hold it open, you know, just to get in there if you need to do anything. You know, traditionally, there's no last round bolt hold open on your AK, and this just gives you that feature. But when you release the safety, the bolt goes straight home. Dust cover, a little bit of wobble to it, but not too bad. And that's pretty much expected with most of your basic AKs. Your receiver rivets, they're very well formed. You've got your dimple here. We have the integral scope mount, and we have some XY dimples here underneath. Again, your rivets look really good. Very uniform. And as far as the action, I mean, it is really smooth. Pioneer logo is etched with Radom, Poland. Adjustable sight, which is typical for your AK, and it does have the white outline or white feel in each of the meter markings. Mag release right here, which is typical. It is slightly enlarged, and where they cut out for the magazine well, I mean, it's very well done. And I'll tell you guys, you can see the melanite finish coming through. I mean, it really makes this look very classic. Reinsertion of magazines, good. And man, there is no wobble or very little wobble. These are fit very well. Now, one thing I will mention is that this accepts polymer magazines pretty good. I mean, your P-mags, a lot of your different Eastern Bloc polymer mags. Some of the steel mags are a little bit more difficult to get in here. You can put a lot of different ones, but some of the Eastern Bloc magazines can have a few issues because they've really made it tight for these. So I just want to make a note of that. Your front handguard and your gas cover, I mean, beautiful laminate. Everything is in line, and that's one of the things they've been very careful to do is make sure the sight alignment, make sure your sight tower's in line, make sure the gas tube's in line. And that's really important for reliability because, you know, that gas tube is lined up and they make sure that it's the right diameter to be able to function and to be able to get that piston going in the right direction. It's a 16.3-inch barrel. It has a melanite finish on the exterior, but a nitride finish on the inside. Nitride to me is one of the best finishing that they can put on most guns. In fact, I really like when they put nitride finish on firearms. And melanite is just a type of nitride. But a lot of guys really like that chrome line barrel, but this is black nitrided. It does come with your cleaning rod, but it does not come with a bayonet mount. And of course, your front sight tower is standard AK. And this is adjustable for elevation and windage. Slant muzzle brake with 14-in-1 left-hand threads, so it just goes in the opposite direction, and it catches on that little detent right there. And so you can put different type muzzle devices that are 14-in-1 thread pitch. But man, this really helps to keep this rifle in line. The AK-47s typically kind of go high and right, and this just allows it to compensate for it, and it keeps it more flat shooting. And then just depress that detent, and you just keep it until it gets down there tight. Once you get to a certain point, you can stop. We're going to check the trigger pull action. A little bit of take up, not a whole lot. It hits a wall pretty quickly, and then a nice break. Reset right there. I mean, it's quick on the reset when it comes back. Trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 3 pounds, 9.4 ounces. 3 pounds. That's a pretty light trigger. One thing that Pioneer prides themselves is a hand-polished premium trigger action. So that's one of the reasons why we're probably getting a lighter pull. But it is pretty nice, and we'll look under the hood in just a minute. Weight on the rifle, 6 pounds, 3.5 ounces. Now we're going to be shooting quite a bit of Red Army Standard in here. I've bought a lot of that over the years. It's just really good stuff, and still cased ammo is great for the AK anyway. They do offer these waffle pattern mags that come with it. We got 4 with this one. So that really gives you quite a bit of capability. Traditionally, really excellent AKs have come out of Poland. Just the craftsmanship, the workmanship. Poland's known for its arms manufacturing. Pioneer out of Radom, Poland. But one of the things about Pioneer is in the early days they did have a few issues. And since that time, they've really addressed those issues. And from everything I've heard and everything I've done with Pioneer arms for rifles, fit and finish, it's just really good. I love the wood on here. I mean, the wood's just absolutely beautiful. And their waffle pattern magazines just tend to work. Slant muzzle brake, just a balanced AK. And you know, there's a lot of AKs on the market, but the Pioneers have really come in with a lot of different features. Flat shooting, that slant muzzle brake really makes a big difference. It's in 7.62 by 3.9, which is the traditional. It's just a very solid AK-47. It's got the safety that comes up. It will do a last round bolt hold open, or it'll hold your bolt open. And I really like that on an AK, but the wood's really nice. Just has a great feel to it. Pioneer, I mean, great little AK. Now, as far as disassembly, we're going to check the chamber, and it is empty. First thing you want to do is push back behind the dust cover and just lift up. Then we're going to take our recoil spring, push it forward, lift up, and pull it right out. Then we're going to take our bolt carrier group, pull it back, and it comes right out. Next, we're going to take our bolt, turn it, and then pull it out. Now, we shot 500 rounds through the rifle. Not extensive, but we should be able to see a little bit of wear. One of the places is back here at the back part of the bolt. No deformation and really no marks. I mean, it's pretty clean. The bolt looks good. Looks like just a machine bolt. And then we have our carrier, the bolt carrier. Back here at this little area gets a lot of damage a lot of times when you're shooting a lot. And this seems actually to not even be marked. And, you know, actually we took this out to the range 3 different times. And so we probably put about 700 rounds through this one overall. But you can see a little bit of markings on the carrier right here, which is typical for your AK bolt carrier. But really overall, a little bit of markings here, but not anything, you know, to write home about. It looks really, really good. Little bit of milling marks right here in the bolt channel, but not bad. Here the rear trunnion, no damage, no perceivable damage here. We have our trigger group here, and again, this is hand polished by Pioneer, single hook. You do have a retainer plate that's going to hold in your safety selector, and so this is really good to have. It just makes it a little more durable. But got your shepherd's hooks, springs right there, but really not a bad trigger. The rest of the interior of the receiver looks great. Right here around your barrel in the chamber, the trunnion looks like it's holding up really well. One thing, they have a lifetime warranty on the trunnion specifically. So if you have any kind of issues with the trunnion, you know, even transferable, Pioneer Arms will take care of it. And really this is where a lot of the trouble can happen if you have a cast trunnion that's not really up to heat treat specs. You know, those are issues that you can have. Reassembly, take your bolt, go ahead and put it into your bolt carrier. And then we're going to put it into the receiver. Right here, there's some little tabs that allow for you to put your bolt down and just move it forward along the rails. And then we take our recoil spring and guide rod. Right here at the end, you want to make sure you get it under those tabs. Then take your dust cover. I like to catch just the end of the spring or the guide rod, line it up with the receiver under these two little ears. There are two small ears on either side. You just want to get in between that and the gas port. Then when you bring your dust cover, just pop it down and it'll come out. Reinsert your magazine, test for function, and we're good to go. Well guys, first off, it's just a beautiful rifle. I love the laminated stock, the finish, the melanite finish on here is very well done. The rivets look solid. I like the hand polished trigger. That's a really nice trigger. White outline in your meter increments. Sights, everything's lined up. Sights are lined up. Gas tubes lined up. You have your cleaning rod. Overall, a really great looking firearm. Nitride treated barrel on the interior. Now the price from Classic Firearms is $733. Sometimes you can catch blims that run into about the $550 range, and it's very small little things. But overall, I think Pioneer Arms has really stepped it up. I know when we did the 5.56 underfolder, man, that was really a nice firearm. It had the forged trunnion. It even had a bayonet lug. I mean, it's just a really solid gun. This is the sporter model, so it's really priced right, and that's the big thing. Guys, if you're looking for a high dollar AK-47, this is not going to be the one you're looking for. I mean, first off, it doesn't have the chrome line barrel, which a lot of guys that are AK guys like. Also, there's no trap door here at the back of the buttstock for your cleaning kit, and some other things that go with the AK. But really, this is a solid rifle. It's going to serve you well with thousands of rounds, especially if you want to get into an AK for a reasonable price. And I know Ben over at Classic, we talked about this AK, and he said they have really stepped up their game in offering a really nice rifle. Well guys, overall, it's just a beautiful rifle. The melanite finish looks really nice. The laminated Polish wood stock, I mean, it just gives it that classic look. I mean, you can definitely spend a lot more money for an AK. There's a lot of really high-end AKs out there, but for the money, I mean, this is going to be hard to beat. So guys, if you're looking for an AK-47 and you want something from that Eastern Bloc where the birth of the AK came from, check out the Pioneer Arms, and this is the sporter version. And the big plus is that the price won't break the bank. AK-47s, man, we used to get them really inexpensive, and the price has met up to the value. But Pioneer Arms seems to be bringing these to market at a very reasonable price. And again, we appreciate Classic Firearms for sending the Pioneer Sporter AK-47, just a beautiful gun. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America, long live the Republic.
You're watching a video with 30 round magazines? Oh, that means you have them now.
Yeah.
Somehow through osmosis through the YouTube.
It's ridiculous.
Kiss my butt.
Magazines, it does come with, what are these? Of course, these come with two of your standard waffle pattern type magazines. They're polymer. Okay, these two magazines that are polymer. The adjustments, okay, they had some trouble at first with the Pioneers and the Sun. Come on, Sun. Now, first thing we want to do is to go ahead, I am not using my microphones. As far as just taking it out, okay, I'm just rambling. Rambling. Lord, I was born a rambling man. Woo.